Hi, everyone. How are you doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing great. And I hope you guys can hear me okay. If somebody just go, yes, I can hear you. That way, I know for sure that you guys can hear everything and stuff. I see everybody. I see Miss Sampson, Shirley. I see Sassy and Iris, Mary King, Mary Beth, Renee, Carol. Cheryl and Karen. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate it. Okay, everybody, how are you? For those of you that are new to my channel, I'm Jeanette from Boricua Sewing and Crafts. And every Friday, I do Happy Embroidery Hour at 8 o'clock. We also have a Facebook group that's called Embroidery Happy Hour Adventures. And I do want to talk about a couple of announcements, before I get into tonight's topic, which tonight's topic is opening the door to new embroidery opportunities, right? So, but before I talk about that, I want to mention that we are doing a gift exchange at our Facebook group. And I'm using Esther.com to do the gift exchange. And I know a lot of folks, I already have about 20 people that have signed up. That was early this morning. I have to check this evening to see how. I think we're probably going to get more people signed up for it. But I wanted to talk about how it works, okay? So the way that the gift exchange is going to work is I put a budget of $15, okay? So what it is $15 for materials, thread, stabilizer, whatever it is that you need to make a gift. So on the, I think it's the 17th of October this month, is the last day that you can join, okay? After the 17th, what's going to happen is I'm going to do, I'm just going to press a button. The system actually does it. And it's going to pair everybody up with someone in that group. Okay. And you're going to, that's the person that you're assigned to. And that's the person that you're going to be making the gift for. Okay. Now, I know that we're a sewing and embroidery gift, but if Cricut is your thing or sublimation is your thing, whatever it is, it's your chance to just be creative. Okay, so you go ahead and you just create something special for that person that you're assigned to. Okay, now we also have a due date where you have to have the item mailed out by. Okay, I try to do it at least like 2 weeks before Christmas, because I know that the post office gets like really, really super crazy with people ordering stuff and everything. So I want to make sure that everybody has plenty of time to receive their gift. So I think it's like a really, really neat thing. This is something that I did a couple of years back with, there was a group of women that we all own Teslas, and they have a Tesla Diva group on Facebook. So they decided to do a gift exchange, and it was really, really cool and awesome. A lot of people got to meet each other and stuff. And then what would happen was people would post pictures of the gifts that they got. And I just thought, because we are all into sewing and embroidering, and this whole community of ours is all about helping each other to grow our skills in sewing and in crafting. I figured this is a great opportunity for us to like just really you know give a gift to each other, because I know that as crafters, you're always making stuff for other people, right? Either you're selling it or you're giving it to them as a gift. So a lot of times, I don't know how you guys feel, but I know with me, sometimes it's like, when someone gives me a gift, it's a store-bought gift, because a lot of my friends are really not crafters. They're not, they're not into sewing. They're not into embroidering. They're not into the Cricut and sublimation and everything else. So, and it's not that I don't appreciate, what they give me. I understand. So, but a lot of times when I give to them, of course, it's going to be something that I either embroidered or I did with sublimation, or the Cricut, or wine glasses, etching glass, and all that kind of stuff. So, but the thing is, I know how to do all that stuff. So they already kind of know, in a way, that when I give them something, it's going to be something that's kind of like out of the box, very unique. It's not something that you can, it's not like a store bought gift, right? But I figured this is an opportunity for us to give to each other because it is special, and let's be honest, that's one of the things that's really, really great about knowing how to sew and do embroidery is that when you create something for someone, okay, it is really, really appreciated because they know that you took the time, the effort, and you thought about them as you were creating the item. So, it really is special when you're on the receiving end of receiving, treasures, the ones we make, So this is an opportunity for us to be the receivers and not the givers of those type of treasures. So I thought that would be really, really cool. And I'm really excited about it because I'm really looking forward to seeing what everybody makes for each other and to see all the great gifts. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope that if you're part of our Facebook group that you go ahead and you join, okay, or want to take a part of it. I think it would be a lot of fun. I was thinking of maybe creating an album or something on our Facebook group so that as the gifts come in, we can all take pictures of it, all that kind of stuff. So it would be like really, really cool. So, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun for everybody to join and stuff. It's really gonna be a really nice thing because like I said, when I got this gift, okay, um, and I see Harmony's on, and yeah, Harmony, I'm gonna mention it again because it means a lot to me. Okay, when you get something like this, okay, it really tugs at your heart and it's special, which is why I wanted to do that with us on the group because I figured, you're always making for others, and now we all get to do something special for each other. So I think that would be like really, really cool. So, I know that some people had a little bit of difficulty in trying to get into that link and stuff. No worries. Just reach out to me. I will help you through it. And I will make sure that when the drawing is done, that everybody is paired up with someone so that way everybody's gonna receive something. Okay. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm pretty excited about it, and I can't wait to see the outcome. And I think that's really going to help our community grow stronger and closer together and stuff like that. So, just something that I wanted to do this year. And so far, I think it's going to be pretty successful. So I'm pretty excited about it. So, all right. So today's topic, okay, opening the door, okay, other embroidery opportunities. Okay, this is just something that kind of like stumbled on me, okay, and it really didn't stumble on me. A lot of people were kind of like pushing me towards it, but I was just kind of like, I didn't really like think of it that much. But I know that we are all like focused on doing Etsy shops, and some of us were talking about Shopify and creating your own website and all that kind of stuff. All that is really good, okay? The only thing though is that we always have to be conscientious of and I don't know if conscientious is the right word, but y'all know my English, okay? So we have to be aware of, when you do Etsy and when you do the Shopify and when you do these other platforms, that you have to, they have fees, right? And those fees can cut into the profit when you're selling your products, right? So it's something you always have to keep in mind. So it did not dawn on me, okay? The community that I live in is Dominion Valley, and it's a country club community, and they have golfing, right? I did not even think, well, I had a golf towel on my Etsy shop, but I was not really like, I don't know. I just didn't connect it. Okay. I just really didn't connect it. A friend of mine came out and said, put the golf towel out there. Okay. Because every time, where I live, we have like our own little country club. And I like to go there on Fridays because they got really, really good chicken wings. And I'm addicted to their chicken wings. Okay. I always have my chicken wings. So anyway, I went there 2 Fridays ago, and I couldn't have my chicken wings because they had reserved the club for all these golfers, right? Because golfers, they come out of everywhere. Now I don't play golf, so I don't know nothing about the game. Okay. I know a lot of people like it, but all I see them will do is walk around and hit the ball and everything like that. But anyway, well, it was like the golfers were not just golfers that live around where I live, but people from other communities come here to play the golf course, right? So a friend of mine came out and said, just put the picture out there and see what people think. Okay. Well, oh my God, I put the picture out there and I said, hey, just created this golf towel. And this is the one. This is the one that I made so that you guys can see. This is the golf towel that I made. Okay. And these are the golf towels that come with the little hook, because I guess they just hook this up to the golf cart that they just lug around, right? So I just made that, and it's a hot item now. It's a really hot item. I mean, it's like I am getting so many texts from neighbors that live in this community that are like, hey, how much is your golf towel? I want to order. And I'm kind of like, okay. So then I started, putting other stuff out there, and I gave them, my Etsy shop stuff. And now it's like people are like, I'm like the embroidery lady now. It's like, okay. So I was just like thinking to myself, oh my God, I was like, the the opportunity to sell embroidery was right outside my front door, and I just was blind to it. Okay. So I was just thinking to myself, I'm sure not the only one. I'm sure that you guys, you know can open up your front door and look around, and I bet you there are a lot of opportunities to make local sales. So I started thinking about different ways that we could hit the market on a local level. Now Etsy, and you do Amazon handmade, you do Etsy, you can go local, but it actually kind of like opens it up for you a little bit more, because you can go throughout the whole United States, and if you want, you could even sell international as well. Okay. But a lot of times you want to be able to do local sales, because that's really going to grow your business even more. And at the same time, sometimes you have opportunities to, you don't have these fees, right? Because like if I sell a golf towel, if I sell this golf towel on Etsy, of course, first of all, okay, right off the bat, I lose 20 cents because I gotta list it, right? Then they're gonna charge me their fees, right? So there goes about like, let's say maybe like $2, $2 or $3. There goes that. Okay. Then I have to ship it. Okay, and I like to do the free shipping a lot of times on some of my items. The only time I won't do free shipping is if something I know is gonna cost me an arm and a leg to ship, or it's just a very low amount item. Okay, like a scrunchie. If somebody buys a scrunchie from me, then I sell them for like, I think I put them out there. I think they're like $6.99 or something like that, a scrunchie. So then I'll say, okay, then the shipping's only going to cost an extra $3 and stuff. The thing is, if I pay the shipping, then I ain't gonna make no money. So you know, so you know, just local sales. And if I do local sales, then all I have to do is say, okay, this is the amount, and they can just send me the money through PayPal, or some other format. So I was just thinking about that, and I was just like, oh my God, local sales can be a really big thing. So another thing that I did was I went on Facebook Marketplace. Okay. Facebook Marketplace has fees like Etsy, but I don't feel like they're that steep. Okay, because first of all, it doesn't cost anything to list, or I haven't been paying anything to list anything. Okay, so I just put my item there on Facebook marketplace. And then Facebook does take a little fee, and I don't even think it's much, but it's when it sells, okay? And you can the customer pays for the shipping, okay? So when you list the item, the customer knows how much the shipping would cost. So of course you can offer free shipping if you want, but I mean, the Facebook marketplace was pretty easy to do, and I was able to sell a couple of items off of the Facebook marketplace as well. So I was kind of like, oh, so before I was just like focusing on Etsy, but now it's like I'm looking at other avenues. Okay. Another app that we have here is Nextdoor. Okay, and I did not think about that. When I was looking at Nextdoor, I remember it was before I got Mellow, right? My boxer had just died, and there was a guy, an elderly man that had three parakeets, and he put it on Nextdoor, and he was like free birds, right? Well, I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't know that that app had classifieds. So I'm like, okay, so Nextdoor is another good app that you can go and you can put some of your items that you offer for sale on, to try to make some local sales. It works almost exactly the same as Facebook Marketplace. So Craigslist, okay, Craigslist I'm not that much of a fan of, but I think it's because I hear so many, not that I hear bad things about it, but you hear the stories, some people had some bad experiences, meeting some crazies and all that kind of stuff, but you know what? The way I see it is there's crazies on Facebook, and I'm sure there's crazies on Nextdoor too. So you just never know. You just gotta be careful no matter what. Okay. So that is could be only the downside, I think, with the local selling, okay, is you're dealing with people around you, and sometimes you don't know these people, so you do have to be safe and you got to be very careful, okay. And I have to be honest, a lot of times I have not really, I know people around my neighborhood, but I'm more of an introvert when it comes to my home, right? So I don't really like go out a lot and like talk with everybody. I do have some people that I hang out with and stuff, but I kind of like sometimes like to kind of be private, I guess, in a way. So when my girlfriend was talking to me about put it on the community site, because each neighborhood has their own community Facebook group, and she was saying just post it out there. And I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, and I didn't know how to feel about it, but I posted it out there, and I'm glad I did, because what ended up happening was the first sale I made. The lady was so kind that she took the picture of the golf towel that I made for her, and she actually posted it on the community website and was like, "Hey guys, this work is beautiful." And I was just like, "Oh my god, that was so nice," So I guess I was kind of like I guess I missed out. I should have been advertising my business through my community all along. But I didn't know, how people were going to take it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys know what I mean, but I don't know. I think you might, okay? Because we're all crafters and stuff. So it's like, you just, I don't know. So it kind of worked out, okay? And at the same time, as I'm selling these golf towels, I'm also giving them the business cards, and it has the Etsy shop on there. So that way they can see the other work that I do. Like my dinner napkins, which I love doing the dinner napkins. You guys know I always talk about those. Dinner napkins, the other type of towels that I do, the kitchen towels, love doing those also. Those are like really cool. So it's kind of like helps to advertise your business locally and stuff like that. So the other thing also that I wanted to mention was I went to my local sewing shop today. I always go to Susie's quilt shop, and it's in Manassas, Virginia. Love Susie. I mean, she's like really nice lady. That is where I buy most of my machinery from. Well, actually, I got all my machinery from her. Well, the two brother multi needle machines came from Susie's shop. Really nice lady. I like to get my thread from her too. While I was getting the thread, I couldn't stay too long, but I noticed that she had gorgeous fabrics in there. Which, one of the things that came to my mind was the fabric that she had was very different from the fabric that I see in Joann's or Hobby Lobby, stuff like that. So, something to think about if you have a local sewing shop close to you, I would recommend you take a peek in there because a lot of times they're going to have fabrics that are very, very different. And when you are embroidering and you're sewing, and especially when you're doing applique and all that kind of stuff, the difference, the different fabric is what helps you stand out from the rest. So it really helps you to make your items even more unique. Because if everybody's going to the same Joann's and the same Hobby Lobby, and everybody's getting very similar fabrics, kind of like, it's okay, but you want your stuff to stand out. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So, you know, um, go to, and also another thing, when I'm at the sewing shop with Susie, Susie kind of knows me, and we do talk a lot and everything. She knows about my channel, and she also, knows that I like to show videos on how to work machines and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of times what she does is, I'll give her my business cards and I'll give her my postcards with the YouTube channel. And she has them right by the register. And every time she's has a customer and stuff, she gives out my card. So if you have your own little home business, what you can do is go to the local sewing shop and ask them. I mean, it doesn't hurt. What's the worst thing they can do? They say no. They say no. Okay, that's fine, no problem. But they could say yes, and if they say yes, then give them a stack of your business cards. And get to build a relationship with them because one hand could kind of like wash the other. Because like to me, it's like you can end up referring people to their shop and saying, hey, you can get really good fabric from here or whatever. Because I know I always, when people ask me about getting if they want a brother machine, I always refer them to Susie, especially if they're here locally, because I really like the customer support that I do get from her and her staff. I mean, they're like really awesome. They're the ones that actually, take care of all the maintenance of my machines. So when it came to the SC 1900, I take it to them every year, and I also take my multi needle machines every year to them as well. So for annual maintenance, and they're like really awesome with that. And I really do like the stuff that she has. And and she teaches me. I mean, because it's like a lot of times I go in, if she has new stuff, she shows it to me, and stuff. So I kind of like it. And I like supporting local. She is a small business, I'm a small business person too. So I just feel like it's really cool when you get to support another small business in the community. So I kind of like that. um so that's another way to expand your business. I mean, go to the sewing shop, tell them about yourself, tell them about, the things that you do. Um, if you have an Etsy shop or something like that, you got a business card, leave that with them, because that way they can, and let them know you do custom work and stuff. And, they could, sometimes they have customers that come in and they're looking for somebody to do some type of embroidery or sewing or something like that. And they have your card, so you just never know. So it's like really cool. So something to think about and stuff. The other thing that I was also thinking about, also I haven't done it, but it's something that just went through my mind is, when you go to the post office, you always see like people are either landscaping or something like that, and they'll put flyers in the mailbox, right? So you can do flyers, and the flyers you can leave them at, you can do if you don't want to do a business card at the local sewing shop, do a flyer and put it and leave it at the local business shop. You see a lot of times like supermarkets and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if you would do it in a supermarket, but you know what? It wouldn't hurt if you put it there. You know what I'm saying? What's the worst that can happen? Nobody calls you, so it's fine. But a lot of times, like libraries and stuff like that, they have boards, right? And in the boards, it's like to share information, right? You can advertise your shop, do a little flyer of your business, right, with little pictures of your little products and stuff like that, and put it and just ask if you can post it on one of their announcement boards. Doesn't hurt, okay, to let people know that there is an embroidery business nearby. Sometimes also you have people that have sports teams and stuff like that. Let them know. I mean, they're always looking for somebody to embroider polo shirts and stuff like that. Just kind of like very similar, like when I was getting the floors put in my house. Okay, when we had carpet on the second level, right? And me, I'm very frugal, right? So the house came with this carpet, even though I didn't like it, but I figured I'm gonna wear it out till it's time to replace, and then I'll replace it with the flooring that I want. So anyway, the time came, right? So Roberto was the guy that did my flooring on the second level, and when he got to this room, I had my embroidery machine in here and stuff, and he was like, oh, you do embroidery? And I said yes. Well, that's how I ended up doing his shirts, because he was like, oh, I'm looking for someone to do my company shirts, and I was like, okay. And that's where the 36 shirts of the video came in. So you don't know, just let people around know, if there's clubs and stuff like that, and you join clubs. Like I know here I'm part of the book club. I'm gonna get kicked out of that book club, I tell you, because I never read the books. Never read the books. I mean, well, I did read the book like twice, but I'm one of those. I'm the one in the book club that rides on people's comments. Okay, so I sit there and I wait for somebody to say something about the book, and then I just go, "Yeah, I thought about the same thing." So I ride on the comments. So I'm a comment writer. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna get kicked out of that book club, I tell you. So I joined the book club, and in the book club, there's the lady that wanted towels, because she was going to go meet with her friends, and she wanted to do kitchen towels, and she wanted it in her language. I think it was Hindu language or something like that. She typed it up. I went to my digitizer, and he digitized the language for me, and I stitched it all out. And next thing you know, she loved the towel so much. Guess what? She was showing it to everybody else and stuff. Next thing you know, now everybody in the book club knows, if you need something embroidered and stuff, call Jeanette. So it's like, okay. So you just don't know who's, how, who's out there, who has that need, or, just people knowing that you do this. When they need something, they're gonna think about you. Trust me, because it has happened. If your community out there also sometimes have magazines, like I know where I live, they have a magazine, and people advertise their business there. You see like a lot of people with real estate, right? When they're real estate agents, they go and they advertise everywhere. Advertise your embroidery business there. Say, local shop does custom embroidery, apparels, whatever, stuff like that. Just a copy of your business card. Just, call them up and say, hey, how much would it be to advertise this month? I don't even think it'd be that much, for you to actually go out there and put the business information in a little logo magazine or something like that. Also, sometimes when I go to the mailbox, they have like little flyers, like coupon flyers and stuff like that. You could try that too. Oh, water. Okay. So anyway, you can try that too, so that's just something else. So, it's just little ideas. I mean, I think what really, really floored me was, I was so focused on Etsy. I was so focused on I want to do a Shopify, or try to do a Shopify for next year. because I started a second business. The second business is called Latina Stitches and Company. So now I have Unique Designs for You, and now I have Latina Stitches and Company. Now Latina Stitches and Company, um, I don't believe I'm going to open that shop on Etsy. I think what I want to do is I want to try something different. I want to try to do that on Shopify to see. The only thing that is really shying me away from the Shopify is those $30 that you have to pay every month. But you have to try, right? What's the worst thing that can happen? Okay, that I see that the sales from the Shopify account is not covering the cost of having the website. And if that's the case, then that's fine. Then I'll just like shut it down and I'll try something else, right? So I'm just going to play it by ear. And I did start I have already established Latina Stitches and Companies. The only thing is I haven't done any of the advertisement or the websites because I know that Christmas is coming. So this is like the time where it's like really like crazy. So already my orders are starting to pour in on Etsy. I'm pretty proud of like where I am and how I've grown. Um, right, like the channel has gotten more than 5,000 subscribers, which I'm kind of like, wow. So I'm growing. So that's like really, really cool. I'm excited about that. The other thing is my sales on Etsy have already exceeded the sales that I did last year, right? So I want to do a video to show you guys how I compared and how I did, and how I'm analyzing that data and seeing what I did different. I also am still in the process of doing the final video of the family quilt that I'm making for my mom. I do have it here, and I wanted to show you what I have done so far so you guys can see this. I still have a ways to go, but I did the top and the bottom of the quilt. So as you can see right here, I'm showing it to you guys. This is the top of the quilt of my parents. I have I did the family tree. This was a really cute design that I was able to get. I thought it was really nice. I love the colors. Um, I had rethinked the Mercado family. I should have put La Familia Mercado. I did not think about that till after I finished stitching. So the Mercado family, that's how it's gonna stay. I put my mom and dad's name on there with the date that they got married. And check this out. This is the bottom. This is the bottom of the blanket. And I got mellow on there. And what I did was I put El Amor de Abuela and Y Abuelo. So I think that's like the bottom. And I think it looks like mellow too. Now, there is one thing that I want to tell you guys about this quilt, okay? I'm going to open it up so you guys can see. The way that I did this quilt was I started from the top and then I went from the bottom. And then I went and I put my mom and dad's. Now, there's a reason why I did that. When you looked at the second video that I did, I talked about there's going to be 10 files that I had to create, 10 embroidery files. Now, the reason why I had to do 10 is because each of these is a file, right? This was one file, this was one file, this was one file. Now I have to put them family members, okay, which is my sister, me, my sister. My sister got married. I had Carlito. Then I got married to Fred. When my sister got married to Harvey, they had Gabby and Herman. So I have to put all the rest of this in there. So one of the reasons why I wanted to go from top to bottom first is because that way you get to see the middle and then you get to reorganize the names so that you can make sure that everything fits, okay? Now, I am going to tell you something. I am working on this. It's not easy. I'm going to tell you right now. It wasn't easy, okay? Well, I mean, It is, and then it's not. And I'm gonna tell you where I found this to be in the difficult part. Okay, the designs of the file. Okay, I mean, getting the blanket, that's nothing. All right, but having that vision and drawing it out, that took time. After I drew it out, then of course you have to create every single individual file. Now, after I've done the top and the bottom, and I looked at the space in the middle of that blanket, I noticed that those files that are in the middle, the way I designed them, too big. There is no way I'm going to be able to fit all those names in the middle. So now I'm right back to the drawing board just for the middle piece, which is my name, my sister, Harvey, Fred, Cardito, Gabby, and Herm. So that's 7 files that I have to like kind of, not, I wouldn't really say recreate, but I do have to make a lot of adjustments to them because I want to make sure that I get to fit everything in there. So, I think it's gonna come out really, really cool. You know, I don't think my mom's gonna see this because she's kind of mad at me right now because I kind of blocked her in a way because I don't want her to see the blanket because we want to give that to her for Christmas. So the whole thing that we're gonna do is I'll be in Miami for Christmas. And what I'm planning on doing, and I remember someone had asked me, I think it was Miss Zola, that asked me, how am I going to handle the work stoppage for the Christmas? Me personally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close shop, probably not take any more orders a week and a half before Christmas. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because no more orders done. That way, just finish the orders, ship it all out, and then it gives me an opportunity to take 2 or 3 days to work on the orders for the family. That way, when I go to Florida, I have everybody's gifts because that's the other thing too. When you have your own business and you're embroidering all the time, you're filling out orders all the time, and then you kind of like forget, oh shoot, what am I going to give those people around me? So I want to take that time to, first of all, I have to drive down there, but I also want to make sure that I make something special for all my family members. So I'm already starting to plan out what I'm going to do for them, what I'm going to make. And then what I'm going to do is, as the orders, slow down or whatever, like, now they're starting to really, really pick up, but I still have some wiggle room. So whenever I find that wiggle room, that's when I'll go ahead and I'll make Nancy's gift, or my mom's, or and stuff like that. So and then I'm sure that while I'm down there, I'll fill my happy hour with my mom again, because I know a lot of people like that, when they saw my mom. So I'm going to have to take my sewing machine down there, so that way I can have a happy hour with her again. I'll probably come up with some project or something, because that way maybe I'll make like a little wallet. We'll make a little wallet together and stuff like that. Because I did have a lot of fun when I did that happy hour with her. That was like pretty cool. It really was. And I really like that I have that video because it's a nice memory. It really is. And I was really glad that I was able to share those moments with you guys and stuff. So, that was like pretty cool and everything. Let me see. Do I have anything else in here? Okay. Mention the Facebook groups. Oh, I'm talking about Facebook groups. Okay. Um, I know I mentioned the marketplace, right? You can go and you can go and list your items on marketplace. Now, I bet you if you were to look at Facebook, you would probably find some groups by you, like yard sales, stuff like that, around your area, local area. You can post some of your stuff on there, especially, and what's so real easy to post out there too? If it's something that you make that's not personalized, right? Like I have some kitchen towels that, they just say, la cocina de abuela, right? Grandma's kitchen in Spanish, or, mom's kitchen, something like that. So that stuff is not personalized. So because it's not personalized, very easy to sell, because it's just, once it's made, you just package it up, and when somebody buys it, you just give it to them, right? Though it gets complicated when the personalization comes in, because that's when it's like, okay, you actually have to create the file and stuff, and it's a little more complicated. Like with the these towels that I'm making everyone, as the orders are coming in, I tell them, and nobody, I have not had any issues with this at all, because I let them, I mean, they ask me, when do I pay you? Do I pay you before or after? I always tell them, please pay me before, because it is a custom towel, okay? And the last thing that I want is for me to spend my time and energy, creating a file and stitching out a towel, and then the person doesn't come, and then I'm stuck with a towel with a name that I can't resell. So I always, when it comes to custom work, I always ask for the money up front, and I always advise people to do that. I remember there was a time when people were doing the little elf on the shelf, and I saw on Facebook, on some of the community websites of crafters, where there was a couple of people that were upset because people were saying, "Oh, I want one of those. Can you please put a name on it?" So they would go ahead and they would embroider the item, and they would have the name on it, and then the guy, the person that placed the order never came to pick it up, and then the person was stuck with the thing. So when it comes to, one of the things I just want to tell you guys, if you're doing custom orders, especially Christmas orders and stuff like that, if the customer is serious about buying it, and if they're serious about, getting it, they're not going to have a problem paying for the item up front. Okay. That way, you got your money. All you got to do is produce the product and give it to them. I haven't had any issues, thankfully. I mean, people, they do ask, they just say, they just say, do you want the money now or later? And I tell them I will send you an invoice. So what I do is I go into QuickBooks, and in QuickBooks, they give me their email address, and then in writing QuickBooks, I write down exactly what they're getting. They're getting the golf towel with the clip, the color of the golf towel that they're going to get, and the initial and the last name. And I make sure that I put the note at the bottom of it. Please double check to make sure that the spelling is correct and everything. That's another thing. Be very careful about that when you're doing custom work. Make sure your spellings and everything is right. And then also, what I do is I will text when I create the embroidery file. And I know it sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, because you got to remember, that's one thing about custom work. When you're doing custom work, there's got to be a lot of communication between you and the customer. Okay, this is the thing. You want that customer to be happy, and at the same time, what's important to me is this person paid me already to create a custom item for them. I want that communication with them, because I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to know, there's a lot of scammers out here. They really are. There's people out here that it's like, I mean, it's a hoot, okay? So it's like, the last thing I want is for someone to feel uncomfortable. There was one customer, which, I thought it was kind of funny, because she was like, I want the towel, and I was like, this is how much it is, and then I said, well, you have to send me the money. She goes, I don't know you, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't know you either. But then I guess what it is she looked me up, and then she was like, oh, I saw you're a legit business and stuff. And then it was so funny when she came to pick it up. She was like, I am so sorry. I'm like, don't ever apologize for being careful. You're supposed to be careful. So that's why I totally understand, because when she was kind of like, oh, I don't feel comfortable, I was like, that's okay, and I understand. So I said, if you want, I'll create an Etsy listing for you, and then you can order it from Etsy. Even though I didn't have to go through all that, she was fine after a while. But it's like, I want customers to feel comfortable, and I want them to have that confidence in me. So to me, I feel like the communication back and forward they know that, and customers know that. And I think I talked about it in one of my happy hours and stuff. We talk about customer service versus customer experience, right? So anyone, can think about, oh, okay, I bought something, this the product's good. But what really stands out is the experience that the customer has with you. Okay. So when you have a customer and you're doing something that's custom for them, then what happens is when they see that you take the time to create the embroidery file, and then you even send them a snapshot and you say, this is how it's going to look. Do you like it? Or do you want to change any colors? Because I had one customer who I sent the snapshot and they were kind of like, oh, it's on a green tower. The green leaves may not pop out, which was it was a very good observation that she made. And I was like, oh, you're right. Okay. And then I went and I changed it to gold, and I just, me and her went back and forth a little bit on the colors and stuff like that. I wanted her to, because at the end of the day, this is how I look at it. It's their towel. Okay. So I want them to be happy with it. And at the same time, too, is when you work with them, they remember that because that's their experience with you. So when they had a good experience, well, guess what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen is they're gonna be like, I recommend her because she listens to you. Okay. Another example of that is like, have you ever gone to the doctor and then it's like you feel like a piece of meat? It's like you go in and you go out. It's like they just go, hey, how are you? And then it's like you tell them, oh, I hurt here, hurt there, whatever, right? And they just kind of look at you like, yeah, yeah, whatever. And then they just want you to, to leave because they need the next patient to come in. Well, when you bump into a doctor that actually sits there and listens to you and your concerns, and then they try to work with you, that's an experience. So then what happens is you don't want another doctor. You want to stay with that doctor because you know that that doctor hears you. So that's just something that me personally, it's important. I don't, I to me, I look at it as I'm not just selling an embroidery product to you. I'm also, I want you to have a good experience with me, and I want you to have a good experience with my company, and I want you to really enjoy the items that I create because I think that's so, so important. So, but at the same time too is, just like they have to be careful, you have to be careful too. So I strongly, I always tell people custom work, money up front. That's it. But as you give me the money up front, I want to make sure that you understand the entire process and you're part of the whole entire process so you have that confidence and stuff. So that's just something that I like, that I always do. However, though, when there's something that is not personalized and stuff, then I don't have a problem creating it because I know that if you change your mind and you don't want it, or you just don't show up anymore because you just fell off the face of the earth, I don't know what the heck happened to you. It's something that I know I could resell somewhere else. I'll be like, okay, that's fine. I mean, I created a wallet and now this person doesn't want the wallet. Well, I can put the wallet on Etsy, or I can put it on one of the Facebook groups, swap and shop or whatever, yard sale, whatever, and try to sell it through there. So, it's just something, that I just wanted to share you guys, with and stuff like that. So I'm going to go down the comments now and everything because I want to make sure that I address any concerns and stuff and always say hi to you guys and everything because I know I got like 15 minutes left and stuff, but it was just something I really wanted to share that with you guys because that was my experience this week, that I was like, oh, I so local, it's just, didn't dawn on me. I don't know, it just did not go in my mind. So I wanted to really share that with you guys because it's just, I know a lot of you guys are starting out, and it could get a lot of overwhelming too, especially when you're starting to do business and stuff. It can be overwhelming because there's just so much to think about, right? Like you think about setting up the shop, and then the material and everything. It's just so much. You can get stressed. You really can't. So But anyway, I let me go down there and say hi. I see Miss Sansom and Shirley. How you doing, Mary? Hi, Iris. Hey, Sassy. I see Renee and Carol, Cheryl. Hey, Christian and Robin. I see Nancy and Sherry. Hey, Denise. Hey, Karen. Hey, Miss Max. Hey, Eartha. Hey, Harmony. How are you? Hey, Evelyn. I see Gail. Oh, never knew that darn mask would get so much airtime. You know what, Harmony? Yes, and it does. It gets a lot of airtime. And not only does it get a lot of airtime, it gets a lot of worn too, because I wear it everywhere. I mean, this does not leave my side. It doesn't. It does not. It's my favorite mask. Hey, Veronica. First time watching. I just found you and I've been watching your videos all day the last couple of days. Love hearing about your puppy and your son. Oh, Veronica, thank you so much. And stuff. And, welcome to the channel and the community. And so if you ever need anything, just shout out and please join our Facebook group, because if you need help with something, we'll all jump in and help you out and stuff. Hey, Norma, how are you? Golf hand towels are big in my area. Lots of golf. Yeah, Barb, I'm going to tell you, I had no idea. I had no idea. And I live in a golf community, okay? Because I think I think the golf course that we have is Armour Palmer or something like that. I don't know who Armour Palmer is. I guess he's a golfer, a big golfer, whatever. I didn't grow up around golfers or anything like that. I know about the game and stuff, Tiger Woods and all that stuff. I know about that, but it's just I never played it. And it's just I didn't grow up around it, So, and no one in my family that I know of, I wasn't really exposed to it that much, I guess, but I didn't. People are serious about that, so I was just like, oh, okay. So, but yeah, golf towels, huge, huge. I got so many orders. So they are very, very, very big and stuff. That's absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Cheryl. It's ironic you're talking about the golf. I'm making marathon towels. Hey, Miss Max. And you know what? You mentioned marathon towels, okay? Workout towels. People like to work out, okay? You can do a towel with the person's name on it or initial for people that like to work out and stuff. There you go. That's another good gift for people to give to Christmas. So towels are really, really big. Um, there are there are always lots of, yes, Nancy, they are. We just gotta look for them. And you know what's funny too is, what it is. See, my sister's on there. What it is too is, you can't give up. Okay, there's gonna be so many times that you're gonna try certain things, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's okay. I mean, it's no big deal. All right. So if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So you just try something else. Okay. So that's why to me, I'm like, try as many avenues as you want. Like some people want to do the Etsy shops, some people want to do the Shopify. Some people do the Facebook, local stuff. You try whatever, try it all if you can, and see what sticks. Like, remember what I said, find your niche, right? You find what you're good at in embroidering, what's the best product that you like to produce and stuff like that. Well, what's the best avenue that you can use to sell your stuff? So, there's so many opportunities out there and stuff. So, just because one thing doesn't work out doesn't mean that there's nothing else that you can try. So, that's like really important. Oh, does anyone do vendor craft shows? I'm thinking about doing that, get my stuff out there. Tracy, I have thought about that too. The thing that I noticed though, like, my mother-in-law, she works at a flea market, but she's down in South Carolina. And one of the things, when I talk to her about it, she says that, a lot of times where she's at, A lot of people don't like to spend a lot of money. You know what I mean? They buy things that are like $1 or two, something like that. So she's always saying, I don't think this is the right venue, because she looks at my stuff and she's like, no, that's expensive stuff. There's no way you're gonna sell somebody's gonna buy that for $1, which is true, because I ain't gonna sell it for $1, because I would be like, I'd be at a loss. Okay. So but I have thought about the craft shows. But one of the things that I did, when I was looking at it, I remember you have to get the table and the space, and sometimes there's a cost associated with that table and space. So you really have to make sure that, to make it worth your while, that those the profits, you know, you pays for that space, because, but you can also look at it another way, Tracy, is you can look at it as, maybe the profit didn't pay for that space, but you got your exposure. Like you said, get your stuff out there. And you never know who walks across your area, and you could have a future sale there. So, I mean, I would give it a shot. I mean, what is the worst thing that can happen? That it doesn't work out, but at least you try, right? So, I mean, I have myself have thought about doing that, but that if I do that, it's gonna have to be after I retire, because I retire in 4 years. Because right now it's like there's no way. I don't have the time or the expansion to do it. I mean, like, it's right now, and I'm kind of like, I'm very thin on time. Because it's like I get up in the morning, and then I work my 8 hours, and then as soon as I'm off work, then it's I turn these suckers on. And I'm kind of like, ooh, this is like spreading it thin. And there was one night when I got a lot of orders in, and I was up to like 3 in the morning embroidering. I mean, I had both machines going, and I had little mama over there going too. Okay, dinner napkins. So somebody came in and they were like, "Oh, I want 12 dinner napkins." So I was just like, "Okay." So and then besides the dinner napkins, that I had kitchen towel orders too. So I was like, all right. So that was rough. Okay. And I ain't even hit Christmas yet, because we're in September. No, we're in October. Man, I forgot what month we were at. So we're in October. So Christmas hasn't even hit yet. And I've already been up here in this room till like 3 o'clock in the morning with these machines on. So I was just like, time, things to come, so yeah. But Tracy, if you can do it, I would just do it once, just for the experience of it. You just never know, and stuff. It's the same as the golf for runners. Yes, oh yeah, yeah. But these towels have the clip on it. But I don't know if runners need the clip. But you know what? They may need the clip, because they may want to clip this somewhere, so when they run, they're not holding their old towel. I know sometimes runners, they'll have the towel around their neck. But I don't know if they would use the clip. But they have similar towels and stuff like that. So a runner would definitely probably do that. Area churches are good. There you go. Yep. Barb got a good one too. Churches are good, and they like altar runners embroidered, and then the baptism handkerchief. Yes. And Barb, also these blankets, these quilt blankets. I had a vendor reach out to me, because they had a customer that wanted that blanket embroidered with the child's name and the date, with the cross, with the date that they were baptized. So these are good too. So you're right. Churches, people, when they baptize their kids, the little baby and stuff like that. If you have an all white quilt, embroider the child's name with the cross and golden, that will sell and stuff. Hey, Mary Beth, how are you? She does craft shows, and it's a great way to get your stuff and name out there. There you go. Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking, Mary Beth. Because even if you don't make that much, at least then the people that walk by get to know you, because I mean, if you really think about it, I was living in this, I lived in this neighborhood now I've been living here for like 10 years, 10 years. Yeah, 10 years we got here. Um, and, but I've been embroidering now for three, okay, for about three, getting close to 4 years of embroidering, right? Now, the thing is, though, is none of my neighbors or people around me really knew about me and embroidering and all that kind of stuff, right? Because I was just selling from the outside. I wasn't really looking locally and stuff. Now the word is kind of out, and people are kind of like, oh, and people are actually reaching out and they're saying, hey, do you do hats, do you do um beanies, do you do shirts? And I'm like, yeah, I do. So now it's like the word's out. There's a lady in the neighborhood that does embroidery. So it's just something. It is important to get your name out there, and once people know that, and especially like I said, um with the first couple of towels, I built a very good I think, in my opinion, I don't know, but well, if they seem to be happy, but you know, I I built very good communication with the customers because I that's just how I like doing things, and I think with that also helps get the word out. So yeah, I mean, craft shows is another good way to do it. That is for sure. I mean, it does not hurt and stuff. Hey Liliana, how are you? How you doing? Hey Lisa. Hey Walk by Faith. Sure, I'm looking forward to the gift exchange, but I can tell you I am nervous because I want the person I get to like what I created for them. Cheryl, okay, this is how I feel about it. Okay, then I don't want you to be nervous. Okay, we are all creators. None of us are perfect, and some of us are just beginner sewers, and some of us are beginner embroiderers. So my whole thing is, don't worry about that. No matter what it is, in my eyes, it's perfect because someone took the time and the energy to create something for you. So, to me, that's how I see it. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna be really blunt. If you don't see it that way, then I don't know why you're with the group. Okay, because the group is about supporting one another, not putting down anyone. That's not what this group is about. And you know what? I'm not going to allow it to be that way either. Okay? So I don't mean to be harsh, but we're supposed to be helping each other to learn and grow, okay? Now, I'm not saying that constructive criticism isn't allowed because that is how you get better, okay? So if I'm stitching something and you see that there's a better way that I should be stitching, I want you to share that with me. Just like if I see that you show something and there's puckering, I'm going to be like, "Hey, what stabilizer did you use?" "Oh, I used tearaway or one sheet or two sheet." Try to use 2 or 3 sheets, or maybe instead of tearaway, try to use cutaway, because sometimes the weight of the fabric is too light and maybe you need something to keep the fabric more stable. So the group is about teaching each other, supporting each other so that we can learn and we can all become better together. Okay. That's what it's about. It's not about criticism. So, Cheryl, do not worry about it. Okay. Don't worry about that. That's not what this is about. Okay. You're going to do fine. And I know that whatever you make, that person's going to love it. I know if I get it, I'm going to be showing it off just like I show off Harmony's mask. Okay. And stuff. Even though this is beautiful. I mean, she's good. She's good. It's like, wow. Okay. That's the mask queen. She's good and stuff. And her hats are beautiful too. So it's all about getting better because we're all beginners, we're all learning and all that stuff. So don't worry about that. Anything I have sold has been by word of mouth. Yeah, word of mouth, and you know what? Word of mouth is very, very powerful. It really, truly is. Okay, but also, I, let's talk about this for a little bit since Cheryl mentioned word of mouth. Okay, remember at one time I told you guys not every sale is a good sale. If you ever, and I do this, okay, if I ever come across a person and I just feel some kind of way because the person seems to be a little off, okay? And what I mean by off means too picky or something. I'll give you an example, okay? I had someone that reached out to me and they wanted dinner napkins. And they were like, I'm buying them as a gift for someone, but the person is very, very particular about the quality of the napkins. So I said, okay, I understand. I said, well, this is the material, this is the fabric, and this is the type of material that I use. Then they were like, well, how does it feel? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you can touch it. It was local. Okay, so I showed them, and then they came out and they were like, oh, it's just that they're so particular. So I kind of already sensed that this could be a problem, you know. Um, and then she came out. She said, "What if I bring my own napkins?" And then I went, mm-mm. So I came out and I just told her. I said, "You know what? I think you need to look for somebody else to help you because I don't think I have the expertise to do what you're looking for. Maybe you need to look at another embroidery company or something like that." Now, there's a reason why I did what I did because it looked like she gave me the impression of someone that no matter how good of a product I created, she was going to find a flaw. And you have to sometimes be careful because just like word of mouth can, help you, word of mouth can hurt you. So all you have to do is just come across that one person who is difficult or just is never happy, and you'll know it. I mean, to me, my advice is when it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't, because when something goes wrong, you're going to be kicking yourself in the behind because you're going to be like, why did I get involved? And you read the stories all the time. You even see it sometimes on Etsy where, customers will trash the product or some, you know what I mean? They leave these negative reviews and all that kind of stuff. The way I look at it with Etsy is as long as I know that most of my reviews are great and then I'm fine, but word of mouth locally can really destroy a business, especially if someone, is angry. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that they're just not nice people, I've seen small businesses even come in my community, and for some reason, it didn't take well with some of the folks around, and the word of mouth got around, and before you know it, they were closing shop, and it's sad, but and sometimes I think it's sad in those situations because sometimes you don't know both sides of the story, sometimes the customer that's complaining could really be complaining because it was really legit and it was the vendor, and then sometimes the vendor really did a fantastic job when you just have a customer that's just unhappy. So those situations really to me are like a no-win situation because you really don't know the story and it's hard for you to judge. So but just something to think about. you know um Word of mouth can be a blessing, and then it can also sometimes be like hell. So just be careful about who you sell to and stuff like that. I do a tons of shows. I have 10 scheduled before the end of the year. Good for you, Christian. My favorite way to sell, I have a local group and I have tons of fun together. That's pretty cool, Christian. I think that is so awesome. That is pretty neat. I believe. Oh, at Cheryl. I believe she said it is any craft, not just embroidery. Yes, for the Esther for the group. Okay, do the craft that's comfortable for you. Okay, it doesn't have to be embroidery. It doesn't have to be sewing. If you have a cricket and you love your cricket and you can rock with that cricket, do your cricket. Whatever makes you comfortable. Okay, and so I mean, and it can be something as simple as buying a towel and just putting the person's name on it or something. Okay, you know do your thing, have fun with it, just explore and just know, because to me, I just what I really the goal of this whole gift exchange is, you know like I was saying in the beginning, crafters always give, right? So this time, not only are you going to give, but I want us to be able to receive too. Okay, because we are terrible receivers. I know I'm a terrible receiver. Harmony will tell you, because she had to leave me a voice message, and I'll never forget it. She said, accept the gift. Just accept the gift. Because I was trying to throw money at her. I was like, where do I send you the money? And she was like, accept the gift. And when she said that, I was thinking to myself, yeah, she's right. We always give, but we have a hard time sometimes accepting. At least I do. So I think it's an opportunity for us to not only just be the gifter, but also the receiver as well. So but it doesn't have to be embroidery. Just whatever craft you're comfortable with. Okay. So let me see, Cheryl. You're so good for us to be able to. And yeah, and Cheryl, the stuff you have put on Facebook is like awesome. So I don't know what you're worried about because you do really good stuff. I would worry about a thing. I would not. Hey, Iris, just seems right. Linda Woods. Hey, Jesse, right? How are you? That's true. I went to a local small shop and I found some cute glow in the dark fabric. Yes, Veronica, you would be surprised. I mean, the little shops really have unique stuff. I mean, the fabric that I saw that Susie had, I told her, I said, I'll be back tomorrow because I really like some of the fabrics that she had. Hey, by Angelina Marie. Hey, Angela. Hey, Donna Bell. How are you? Always afraid. Maybe is because I'm so insecure. Well, Donna Bell, we're gonna get you out of that insecurity. That's it. I mean, and you know what? Something to think about, Donna. We all have our insecurities. All of us. Okay. You see me right now, and believe me, I make just as much. The mistakes you make, I make them too. I still make mistakes. It's a learning process. So if anybody out there tells you they're perfect, they're full of it. They're full of it. Okay. So no, don't be insecure. You can do anything. All you have to do is try and practice, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I send out postcards to a select bunch of businesses in the area. Damn, Barb, you're good. The other is to have your business on Google. Also, the athletic directors for the area of the school. Damn, Barbara got it going. She must be like Liliana. How Barbara? You probably have a whole big shop. Now I have this vision of Barbara with like 15 embroidery machines behind her, like Liliana. Yeah, yeah. That is very good advice, Barb. I appreciate that. That is pretty awesome. Let's see. I'm working on my Shopify as we speak. Oh, I can't wait till you come out with that, Harmony. I'm a big customer. I'm gonna be buying, and you can connect your Etsy and Facebook, Instagram, and more. Yeah, and that's another thing too. And this is me. I'm not good at this, and I have to get better. Social media. Okay, social media is it's the end thing. Okay, people in the back of the day used to walk around with binders with samples of their work. Social media is where you show off all your stuff. Okay, and I suck at it. Okay, I'm just a Facebook queen. Twitter, the TikTok, I figured that out. Pinterest, I did figure that out, but it takes time to add all the stuff on there. But yeah, if you are good at social media, that is a very, very good place. And I'm glad Harmony mentioned that. That is a really good place. Instagram and all that stuff to actually put your stuff out there and stuff. I mean, I've even sometimes thought about hiring somebody to do my social media stuff, but then everybody's kind of like, just you could do it, and I'm kind of like, okay. But the thing is finding the time, But like I said, I when I retire, this is gonna be my full-time uh job, so I can really, really then put a lot more effort. Right now, I'm kind of like flying by it and trying to do as much as I possibly can. But I know I'll get there. I will get there. That's good. Oh, you guys are commenting on the quilt, my mom's quilt. And so, hey, Geraldine. Yeah, I think my mom is really going to love that quilt. I really do. I wanted to give it to her for her birthday. So now she's mad at me because I didn't give her a gift for her birthday because this was supposed to be the gift for her birthday. But then my sister convinced me that because I'm going over there for Christmas, she was like, you can give it to her and we videotape her opening it. So now she's mad at me because I didn't get her a gift, and I'm like, great. I think Nancy did that on purpose to start some family drama. But that's all right. I'll get her back. So I'm like, oh well, that's okay. Um, let's see. Let's see what else we got out here. She does have a lot of great ideas. That's why I'm hooked on her chat. Oh, hey Eve, how are you? How you doing? Um, let's see. Let's see. Um, Yeah, Shopify, I definitely am going to have to open one up. The Shopify that I'm going to open up is the one with Latina Stitches and Company. I want to do that one and stuff. Um, I'm doing it myself. I want to learn how things work, figure it out, hopefully. And I agree with you, Harmony. That is, I mean, I think that's really the best way because, you can sometimes hire somebody to go and do your PR work. But the thing is, if you have the time and stuff, then I say just do it yourself. And the thing is, like I said, I got 4 years before I retire. So this is the perfect time for me to really learn and everything. And the reason why I chose to wait till next year to actually do Latina Stitches and Company is because that way the Christmas rush is done. And then I can just probably take hopefully January and February to just really focus on the new company and stuff. So let me see. Let me see. Let's see. I have a background in web. Oh, Barb's in web development. Good for you. Shoot, use that. I suck at marketing. Believe me, I'm not that great at the marketing either, which is probably why I like the Etsy because the Etsy you just create the listing and then you're good to go. You just go ahead and you just list it, and if you really think about it, Etsy does really brings all the traffic to you. Now, one thing that I don't do is I don't do the Etsy ads because I feel like Etsy takes a big chunk out of the out of your sale. I'm not for that. Because the thing is, I don't like to overprice my stuff. So I like to have my stuff affordable. Um, you know, I don't want to like gouge the customer, but at the same time, I need to make a little money too because I'm not doing this for free. But then if Etsy goes and takes a big chunk out of my profit, then why am I doing it? So to me, it's like the Etsy ads. Maybe I did it wrong. I don't know, but it just took too much out of my profit, and I wasn't feeling that. So I'm like, I'm like, so I just don't do the Etsy ads. I that wasn't something that I wanted to do. So I just turned that off. And so How does everybody get their customers to leave reviews? I shared my link on Google and website, and no one has left reviews. Okay, this is what I do for reviews. Okay, all right. There is okay when I ship out my items. Okay, and I have my my invoice. One of the things that I do is I always put like a little sticky, okay? And this is a sticker that I did, and I always put this sticker on all of my orders, okay? And this is where I'm actually asking them to leave a review, and then I always give them one of these cards, and this card is where, I say thank you, and I tell them about the channel and all that stuff, because sometimes customers, they buy your stuff, and then they don't know who you are, and then they're kind of like, oh, she has a YouTube channel, and then it kind of helps build a little more trust between you and them, I guess. They feel more confident maybe than buying more stuff from you and stuff like that. So um you can do like a little postcard saying thank you so much for your purchase, can you please leave a 5-star review. Another method that I see that people do on Etsy is that after somebody has bought your item and it's been delivered, they will send an email to the customer, and they'll say, hey, I see that you received your item. I hope you're happy and that you like it. If you have the time, can you please leave me a review or some feedback? I just put the little sticker and I leave it at that. I don't like I don't like well, you can if you want to. I kind of feel that way too. Like I remember when I was, interviewing, right? When you interview for jobs, and stuff like that, some people say, this, some people come out and say, oh, we send an interviewer a thank you note for taking the time. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I never did, because the way I look at it is the interview is it. Okay, I mean, me sending you a thank you note isn't gonna make you want to hire me any more or any less. Okay, we had the interview, you interviewed me, and I'm one of these people that when I go for a job interview, as you're interviewing me, I'm interviewing you too, because if you're going to be my potential boss, I want to know where you're coming from, where's your head at. Okay, because I don't like working for crazies. So I like people that I feel can mentor me, and I can learn from. So if I'm in the middle of the interview and you kind of like asking me kind of like shady questions, or questions that kind of like make no sense, then I'm going to start questioning your intelligence, and I'm going to be like, oh, okay, I'm you want to hire me because you want me to do your job, not just my job but yours too. So I'm like, oh no, so my friends will tell you I'm pretty funny when it comes to interviewing and stuff like that, because I am the one that will walk in there with questions, just like you're questioning me. I'm going to be questioning you. I'm going to be questioning the organization, the environment, and everything, because I want to know where am I going. And I always tell people the best time to look for take a job interview is when you don't need a job, because that way, you can go in there, you can be yourself, you can be confident. And if it works out that it is something that you want, you get the job, awesome. But if, you go in there and then you're like, "Ooh, this isn't for me," it's not a big deal. You already got a job. You're already getting your check. So you don't need it. So it's like, but it's just, oh, I got off schedule. Okay. We're over here. I should do a video on job interviews. We're talking about sewing and stuff. But anyway, yeah, but that's how I feel about that. So anyway, you know, let me see. So, getting reviews from people, that's just how I do it, Tracy. I just give them a little sticky on the little invoice, and then I just leave it at that. I don't like, I don't send the email after, because I kind of feel like that's kind of like pestering in a way, I guess. Um, I even pay for people to sell for me. That's how much I hate marketing. Yeah, and I thought about doing that, but then the thing is, there's so many different ways that you can market your business that is free. So I'm like, why do that? I mean, that's money you can keep in your pocket. So to me, I'm not there yet. So I'm willing to take the time to try to learn about all the different types of social media sites and how they work. So, I'm just going to let it roll that way, and I'm just going to take my time. You know, there are times when it's better to communicate with the customer verbally versus your email. And I'm leery about giving out my phone number. Um, yeah, Angela, that is true. Well, see, when it comes to the customers on Etsy, I've always had the interaction with them through the email. Okay. Now the and even the people around my neighborhood, like the ones that are asking for those golf towels, a lot of the communication that I have with them is really through Messenger, Facebook Messenger, and it seems to work out okay. Because like I said, I just send them, a picture of what the embroidery file looks like, and I ask them, are you okay with that? Are you okay with the colors? I also send them a snapshot picture of the actual towel, okay? Because, sometimes people have different perceptions of what a particular color is, right? Because like let's say green, right? You say, oh, I have a green towel. Well, there's different shades of green. And then depending on the towel that you look at, you don't know what's in that customer's mind, right? So they could be thinking it's a light green, or it's a hunter green, or very dark green, right? So to eliminate all of that, I always like to take a picture of the towel, of the actual product, and I like to send them the embroidery, a picture of the embroidery file. That way, it's more it's more open, and stuff, and they can say, oh, I don't like that green, or whatever. So I know what you're talking about, Angela, that sometimes the verbal communication is a little better. And I think for me, the verbal communication is a little better because the back and forward is a lot faster than if you were to send a text. Because sometimes I could send a customer a text and I won't get a response till like 10 minutes or 20 minutes later. Because what happens is you send them a text and then they're off doing something else. So they're not readily there to respond to you, right? So if so it takes sometimes a little longer for the exchange to take place than if you were face to face with them. So yeah, it is. But another thing, Angela, also to keep in mind, documentation. This is something like at my job, I do it all the time. Okay. Even when I have conversations with people, because people can get shady. I tell you, they can get shady. So usually what I'll do, so she knows that I know they're shady, what I do is we'll have that conversation and I go back to my desk and it's in an email. Just want to make sure, and in the email, I'm very nice and polite. I just say, per our discussion this afternoon, this is what we decided and this is how we're going to proceed. And the documentation is great because, Angela, sometimes people have these verbal conversations and all of a sudden they forget, okay? They forget what they agreed to, they forget what they said, or they misunderstood the type of colors they were going to get in a thread, or how an item was going to look. So I find that the picture is really the best thing because it's solid. It's solid. If they come back and say, I looked at the text, you said this. I showed you the picture, and look, it looks just like it. You know what I'm saying? So there's less discussion. So Angela, that's something else to think about. Verbal conversations are sometimes good, but you always got to back it up with documentation. Um, or at least that's my perception of it. My mother is the biggest sales agent. She will sell my shirts to a stranger. Where's Mello today? Hey, Susan. Mello is right outside the door. Let me open up the door. I'll let him in. Okay, since you asked. Let's see. Where is he? Okay, Mello. Mello, come on. They want to say hi to you. Here he is. Okay. You got to do your debut, boo-boo. He was out the door. It's just that sometimes he can be a handful. So since you asked, here he is, Right, Mello? Look at that. Look at that tail wagging. Happy guy, aren't you? You're happy. and stuff. Yeah, you're on grandma's blanket. Look at you. Look at you. Yeah, mom. Okay, so but thanks for asking, Susan. Jeanette, you need a holiday meet and greet. We should do that. You should definitely do that. I know I have met one of the subscribers. I met Norma when I was in Miami. That was a lot of fun. And I am planning on going to Miami again, so I'm hoping to hook up with her again and probably see if I can hook up with other subscribers in Miami as well. That would be really neat. Maybe we can meet at a restaurant or something like that. But yeah, I would love to do that and stuff. Let's see, which multi needles do you have? Hey, Donna Bell. Okay, I have a brother SC. I have a brother PR6 670E, and that's a 6 needle machine. Okay. The brother SC 1900, of course, this is a single needle machine. That's one. But I have the 6 needle machine. I graduated from the 1 to the 6. And then from there, I was debating. I was looking all over at different embroidery machines. But I ended up getting the brother 1055X. My factor in getting that one is because it has a camera and a scanning capability and the snowman capability, and that was something that I definitely wanted, and I didn't see that in the other machines. So and at the same time, I wanted to support my local sewing shop also, because I think Susie is great. So I kind of looked at it as it's a win-win. I get my camera, my scanning capability, and Susie gets to make a sale. So those are the ones that I have. Let's see. Angela started at a flea market. Yeah, I mean, lots of people start at a flea market and stuff. My mother-in-law's still there. She loves it. I think she does it for the socialization part of it, though, more than anything, because she just likes, she likes to go out. Oh God, he wants to be petted. Okay, hold on, Papa, because I have to scroll up, okay, so that we can see the comments. Okay, here we go. All right, I can make bibs and give them to my mother to sell for me. There's just so many. Yes, Herms would go over great. Yeah, yeah. The Herland quilts. They're a really big sale, Barb. Everybody loves these quilts. They really do. If you send me a gift card, I don't like. I'm gonna make a YouTube video about you. Harmony's a mess. I love the support of this group. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. I love it too. I really do. Hey, Lillian. I appreciate all that I've learned from this group. Oh, that's great. That is great. Because that's really what the group is about. That's really what it is. I mean, to me, I just looked at it as I just like helping people. I mean, I just think it's great. And I just have a philosophy. There's enough for everybody. Not everybody has to be the king of the earth. There's so many people out there that want embroidery and stuff like that. So it's like, why not share the information? And if you guys didn't see last week's live, I talked about different ways of getting blanks. Okay. More affordable blanks. I really highly recommend that you guys really take a look at that, because a lot of the blanks that I get right now, I don't even really get from the US. I usually do get them from these other sites, and they're just as good quality and everything. I'm telling you. So I would really take a look at that. It's not worth a bad review. I just started in May. Everything I learned from Jeanette in this group. Oh, Mary King, I'm glad. Have fun with it. Enjoy embroidering. It's such a neat craft and stuff. So, let me see. Started in September. Hey, Robin. Yeah, enjoy, and you know the Brother SC1900 is really such a great machine. I mean, I still, as you can see, I have it on because I was using it today. So, I mean, I really do love that machine. See your Jeanette, but I too am so understand. I have been so independent for so long. It's hard to accept from another, or at least from me. Harmony, I totally understand. And so I think you got me because, and it is true because I am very, very independent. I was a single mom. I lived in the state of Virginia by myself with just me and my son, no family. You know, and very independent. I mean, I did everything on my own, and sometimes that can be kind of like piss people off because I would have some of my girlfriends that would be like, "Oh, let me get Carlito for you from daycare," and I would be like, "No, no, no, I got him." And I'm telling you, I mean, sometimes I think back of how I used to drop off my son at daycare at 5:30 in the morning, and then I would jump in my Forerunner and I would fly to catch that 6 o'clock bus so I could be at the Pentagon at 7. And then I would get off at 3, and then the bus would leave at 3:05. I mean, talk about running. I would go from my desk all the way to the bus stop, and I would get on that 3:05 bus because I had to rush to go pick up Carlito because I was not going to pay that late daycare pickup fee, okay? Because I mean, you know, there's no money for that, you know. So I was like, run over there, pick him up. I don't know how I did it. I really did. And my friends used to see that. They used to see. They would be like, "Oh, you're always stressed and all that kind of stuff." And they were like, "Let me pick him up," and I would be like, "Oh, no, 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 no." So I know exactly what you mean about accepting help. You know, but one of the things too that my friends always knew is that if I did call them because I missed the bus or something like that, they knew that it was because it was solid. You know, and I always didn't want people to feel like I took advantage of them helping me and all that kind of stuff. I know it was a bad thing, but it's just who I am. It's like, you know, I don't know, my personality, you know. You know, I can drive people crazy, you know, and stuff. Let me see. If anyone watches Aisha, she got over 20. Wow. Oh yeah, yep, she got the Macoma and stuff. I think the crafty Puerto Rican is going to get the Racoma too and stuff. Um, I started following and doing potholes and oven mitts. Hey, Mary Kane. Yeah, those are a big hit too. And Christmas, those make good Christmas gifts. The pot holders and the oven mitts also. You know, I made a onesie and the spacing of the letters design wasn't how I envisioned, but I had to get out of my perfectionist frame of mind. And you know, Ivory, sometimes it's just looking at the file and just making adjustments to what you want it to be, you know. Believe me, there have been lots of things that I have stitched out where, and I'm kind of like, that don't look right, you know. And this is another thing too. One of the things that you can do is you can go to Michael's, and if you buy felt, okay, or even just plain fabric. If you go to Joann's and you just buy a bunch of plain fabric, okay, cut them in little strips and embroider on the fabric first just to see what the design is going to look like, especially if it's a design that you've never stitched out before and you're not too sure. Then just use the felt or use a piece of fabric, test stitch it out, okay? And then right there, you'll know what it's going to look like. That way you didn't, you know, when you could have saved that onesie if you did that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you had stitched it out, test it first, then you would have known what it would have looked at the onesie. You would have known what adjustments to make. So it's just something to think about and stuff. Because I myself, I was not testing out designs when I was first buying them. And sometimes I would put them on product, and just like you, it did really like come out the way I wanted it to. So I kind of like, you know, and when you're wasting the product, that's money, right? So to me, I just looked at it as, you know, 35 cents for a piece, a sheet of felt, or, you know, just cut a piece of fabric and embroider on that fabric instead of wasting the product. That, you know, the only thing that is your time, right? Because you want to stitch out the whole thing to make sure that it's fine. But to me, if it saves you the product, it's worth the time, you know. And remember, you're doing it because you love to do it. So what's the rush, right? Just stitch it out and enjoy. Um, so Ivory, that's some, think about, spend more time on TikTok. Small business community is great. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to look at that. I look at TikTok for all the jokes and stuff and stuff. Um, let's see what else. Hey Ozzy, how you doing? Just overseas is cheaper. Just find some to do it overseas. Cheaper. It is buying your blanks overseas is so much cheaper. If you watched the live from last week, I actually went shopping online so you guys could see the screens yourself. And when you saw some of the prices for these blanks, you guys are gonna be like, is that how much it costs? I'd be like, yes, that is really how much it costs. What you're doing is you're just paying for that extra middleman. So to me, I look at it like now me moving forward, if I buy a blank from a certain, and it's not from the vendors that of those websites, it's really because I'm in a bind and I don't have the time. Because the only downfall from the overseas is the time lag. Sometimes you place an order and you're not going to get your product for a month or maybe 2 months, right? It takes a very long time for them to make it and ship it out. Because you got to remember, you're ordering something from very far away, so it's going to take time to get to you. So that's the only thing that to me is bad. But once you get used to ordering from them, you end up in a battle rhythm. So you already, I look at my quilts. I know when I'm running low, and when I'm running low, I know, okay, let me order now, because in 2 months I'll most likely be out, and that way they already here, and then I'm good, right, Mello? Yeah, and I gotta make a quilt for Mello because I know Mello wants his own little particular quilt. Look at those eyes. Oh, those gorgeous eyes. And stuff. Okay, let's see. Verbal. It is a lost art, Iris. She got a good point. Verbal communication is almost a lost art. And you know what? It's funny because I always tell it to Cardi, my son, because I feel like the young sometimes they spend so much time texting each other, and the misspellings on those texts, because of course they don't want to like spell out the whole word, and it's like the communication is just not there anymore. And sometimes I feel bad for Cardito because I'm always like, well, what's going to happen if you get a job and I have brief, you have to give a brief, okay? How are you going to communicate your brief? And he kind of like looks at me, goes, well, I'll do it as time comes. I'm kind of like, practice makes perfect. But yeah, verbal communication is a skill that is lost. And I even like told Cardito, you join Toastmasters. I don't know if you guys know about Toastmasters. I used to be in Toastmasters. That was a lot of fun, where you give speeches and all that stuff, and then you critique each other on how you speak, and they count how many times you go, or they'll probably tell me, well, how many times you said, what I mean, they always criticize me with that kind of stuff. So, what other shippers does everyone use? Mellow, Shippo today. It's cheaper than Etsy. I use here you go, boo boo. I use USPS. I know some people use UPS, but I found them so expensive. So and I sometimes get my labels from Private Ship, but I always buy my a lot of my shipping labels from Etsy. If I get them from Private Ship, it's usually because I'm sending it to someone that's a local order. It's an order that's off of Etsy. But yeah, hey, Mellow. Okay, so he's got a haircut. Yes, he did. He got a haircut. He got his haircut about last week. Last week, I think he got his haircut and stuff. Yeah, everybody loves Mello. I know my sister loves him and stuff. So when I go over there, I'm probably gonna have him spend the night with Deepy and stuff. Hang out with Nancy and stuff. I'm getting a used PR 606 needle. Oh, Oh, work on knowledge. That is awesome. That is really awesome. Important question about the blanks and what they are used for. Question: what are blanks? Okay. Hey, word of knowledge. Okay. When we're talking about blanks, we're talking about items that don't have anything on them, right? Like, let's say you have a towel and it's just a plain towel, or a shirt that's just a plain shirt, and or even a book bag or a pocketbook or something. There's nothing on it. And then what happens is you go and that's considered the blank, right? And then what you're doing is you're taking your embroidery file, or not even your embroidery file. It could be something that you're doing with your Cricut machine or sublimation or something like that, and you're just stamping on, your the thread or whatever on the actual item. So when you hear people refer to a blank, what they're actually doing is they're talking about the actual product that they're going to sew on or put ink on or something like that and personalize. That's what they mean. Like let's say this cup. This was a blank, okay? And then what I did was with my sublimation machine, I went and I did all these different designs, okay? So, that's what that is, okay? Um like so. Yeah, walk by faith, gotcha. um could be garments, blankets. Yep. Save your mistakes and cut the material for the next step. Yep. It's hard to hoop additional designs I'm putting in the same garment. Let me see. My back hurts if I stand enough. Anyone suggest a chair that sits high and allow you to sit eye level with the machine? Hey, Ivory. Okay, the chairs that I have, and if you go to my Amazon shop, I have these chairs. These are sewing chairs, okay? And they're from the company Arrow, okay? These are pretty good. They have a very good height. There's two types, okay? And I actually have both. Okay, let me show you the other one. This is the other chair that I have. And this one, I have two sewing chairs. What I really like about these chairs too is that if you open this up, there's a storage. You can put storage in here and stuff. And this actually has the lever like office chairs that you can pull it up and then it'll go up and down. And this one's a wooden one. It's already at a certain height. But this is what I actually use to work on my SC1900. Okay, because this actually is at the same level of the table as the machine, so that way it's fine. And what I really like about this is it has a little cushion here, so I get to like push it in. So the only thing is I'm gonna warn you up front, they're a little pricey because I think if I remember correctly, I think each chair was over $200, something like that. I don't remember. God, I got them like last year and stuff. I bought one, which was this one that goes up and down. And then I liked it so much that I went and I bought the other one. That way I have one on each side, even though I have one here. And I kind of like having two chairs in here because before the pandemic, I would have people come upstairs and go to the sewing room, and then they had a chair to sit down on while we looked at threads and all that kind of stuff and everything. So, but there's different chairs out there. Just gotta try it. But this kind of works for me. But but it doesn't have to be a particular sewing. A chair's a chair. I mean, but the thing is, you want to make sure you get the right chair. Like some folks were saying, it's you want the right support because some people have back problems and all that kind of stuff. So you want to make sure. Oh yeah. Oh, there goes that scrunchie. Okay, so he's got a scrunchie. Can I have it, please? No. Okay. All right. So Mellow Mellow has a scrunchie now. Oh, Mellow. Okay. Yeah. Well, that was not being sold. That's for sure. All right, guys. Well, it is. Oh my God. Oh my God. I am so sorry. It is like 10 o'clock. I am like way over the 9 o'clock. I want to give you guys back your weekend. Okay. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really did enjoy, as always, I enjoy every Friday with you guys, and I love sharing, things that I've learned and my experiences and everything with you guys. And I really appreciate all your support. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and join our Facebook group. And if you guys want, please join the Esther gift exchange. Okay, that way we can create stuff together and share it with each other and stuff. I think that would be like really really awesome and stuff. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, like I said, please subscribe. And I will see you guys next Friday at 8 o'clock. And I will keep filming the quilt that I'm making for my mom. I'm at the final steps. I finally adjusted all the files. Now it's just actually embroidering them, and I am going to do that. And then what I will do is I will put the video together, and I'm going to put it out there so you guys can see how I actually did my mom's quilt step by step. Okay, so I'm trying really hard to try to do this video so that way you guys can see it, just in case you guys want to make something similar for your mom or your grandma or something like that. Okay, so you guys have a great evening. Please take care, and thank you so much for joining me. Okay, so you guys have a very good day, and please be safe out there. Love you all. Take care. Bye.